Hey guys, Jay, welcome back to the channel. So guys, thanks to Phil Corbally once again, we're going to take a look at some high resolution photos of Wave 13 and really get to examine many of these characters, which a lot of people are super excited about. Guys, let's take a deep dive into this. Before we get started, guys, if you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. I post up to 2 episodes a week, and I hope you guys enjoy. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so you guys will always be aware of when new episodes are posted. Guys, without further ado, let's take a deep dive into this and see exactly what Phil was able to pick up. Honestly, I'm super excited about this, guys. Let's have a look. Guys, these photos come to us courtesy of Phil Corbally. Honestly, he has been huge in being able to let me know about all these crazy eBay listings, and now he's actually sent us some actual photos, guys. Check this out. Earlier today, Phil just sent me 2 words, and of course they were, "They're real." And then he sent me this picture of this crazy box, and I immediately knew what was going on. So guys, let's take a look and see exactly what Phil sent me in terms of all these photos, guys. This is going to be a lot of fun. Let's have a look. So yeah, guys, Phil is one of the lucky recipients of the Master Universe Origins action figure assortment Wave 13. It appears to be GNN 84-998C. Contains 4 pieces. Holy crap, everybody! And if you're curious, there's the UPC. So guys, let's dive into this and find out which figures Phil received. Of course, we already know. It is, of course, King Randor, Snake Teela, Slamurai, and the Snake Trooper. Holy crap, everybody. I already went through the packaging art in the previous video. Today, I want to really take a deep dive and take a look at the figures outside of the packaging because, luckily for us, Phil is not an inbox collector. He is an opener, and he couldn't wait to tear into these guys to see exactly what he was getting for these figures. So let's take a deep dive and see. The first figure we're going to take a look at is, of course, Snake Teela, everybody. Holy crap. This is amazing. It's kind of weird because when you look at them in the packaging, there's a lot of detail that you can see, but there's a lot of detail you can't see. I mean, after all, we can't see the boots, we can't see any of the weapons. Zooming in on the head, holy crap, this is crazy. We can see here that she's got these slit eyes, which is very reminiscent of snakes, of course. She's got those, as we noted earlier, slightly lighter shades of green underneath her, directly underneath her eyes. And yeah, the deco itself is really just painted deco. It's just scales which have been painted on completely. It is interesting to note that we can now definitely see that Teela has those fangs, and they're actually outside of her lips, which are painted in black and red. That's pretty interesting in terms of the way the design is overall sculpted. Looking further down the neckline, we can see that definitely this is a brand new buck, everybody. These shoulder pauldrons are actually sculpted into this brand new Teela buck. This is incredible. We can see the shape of Teela's original outfit, so definitely I'm thinking that this possibly could mean that we are going to be getting a 2000X version of Teela proper. The colors are very, very striking. I mean, obviously she has her signature red hair. The green is a very interesting, almost neon green, the way it looks. We can see that the way the deco is applied to the armor, it doesn't really follow any natural convention. We can see ribbing here on the sides. If you look at it from afar, it doesn't really bother you. It's when you really start to zoom in close and see all that amazing sculpted detail, and it sort of makes you wonder, what is that? I mean, I guess you could say it was scales that are peeking out underneath, but really it looks more like there should be some sort of armor, pieces here and there. So there's that to take into consideration. Her arms are based on the original Teela figure, so there's a lot of reuse on that side. We look further down, and the deco comes all the way down her legs. Obviously, with snake people, we can see the inner thighs look more like the bottom portions of snakes' bellies, whereas the outer thighs look as if they have some scale work, which is already painted on as well. Here we can see her signature boots, very similar to the way they have looked. These ones are more in line with what she looked like in the 2000X version. So definitely we're going to probably get a 2000X version in the near future. At least we hope. Looking here, we can see her snake staff Ka, and he still looks like it's a bit of a translucent plastic, but it's more of a an emerald green, which I love. I love the way they've decided to use that type of plastic in this particular version. That same emerald green is used here in her new sword. Now, this is the same sword that she got with the latest release, which is included with Zor and Teela. So this is really cool to see it repurposed here as a sword for Snake Teela. This is amazing. Turning her around, and we can see that she actually has a holster sculpted into the back piece, and that's really interesting as well. If we zoom in even closer, we can actually see the copyright information. This is copyright 2022 Mattel. That's very interesting. This figure was actually made in 2022, which makes sense because obviously by the time it left the factory, it was still back probably even as late as December, but it has been shipped out now and is reaching our shores as we speak. And of course, Australia has received it first. So Australia eBay has done good, I gotta tell you. We can see that she's sporting a ponytail, which of course is reminiscent of the way she looked in 2000X Master Universe, which is amazing. And yeah, you can see all the wonderful deco that does flow down all the way to the other side of her legs. And yeah, we can see even more detail in that sword. Freaking incredible, guys. This is beautiful. Great to see this particular version of Teela, and I can't wait until we can get into our collections. The next figure was, yes indeed, the Snake Trooper, everybody. Wow, look at this guy. His body is based off of the Midnight Trooper, which of course was part of the PowerCon exclusive, one of the very last PowerCon exclusives, if I'm being honest. But yes, he is 100% a replication of that figure. It appears that the only difference really being that the upper arms here have been decoed out in gold, and the Horde Trooper, which was included in this particular set, actually has black upper arms and no Horde insignia on the lower legs. That's really interesting. I didn't even notice that in the original set. He actually has different lower legs. I had no idea that was the case. His head, of course, is Ratlor's head, and it's kind of interesting because it really does seem a little bit oversized for the body here. However, because the collar itself is slightly oversized to accommodate for the Horde Trooper helmets, it doesn't look nearly as bad as I thought it would, and it does actually look kind of like a gigantic snake head on top of a Horde Trooper body, but I can still dig it. It's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's actually pretty cool. Not too bad at all. Of course, he is your standard Horde Trooper. I mean, the only difference again is that he's completely done in black with some gold highlights, and of course those different bottom shins. But he is sporting this new weapon. It is not Blast Attack's weapon. It's actually some sort of snake scepter. That's cool. It's got a snake head at the top and these three pointy protrusions right below the base. Yeah, that's something I wasn't expecting at all. He's also carrying his own version of a snake shield. That is not something that I was expecting. We don't get a look at it here, but if we look closer in the back, you can actually see the kind of pattern that's included, and I do believe that that's the same shield that's included with figures like Lord Grasp. Now, he does actually have that play feature with the Horde insignia here where you hit it and all the armor blows off. I appreciate any action features in any of these toys because honestly there just have not been that many action features included at all. Rotating into the back, we do see that he is again just the exact same sculpt for the Horde Troopers, but we are able to see that once again he has those different shaped legs. The Horde Trooper legs actually have this bell-bottom type of sculpt, which is very unique to this particular figure, and it's interesting that they decided to use this standard boot accustomed to most Horde figures, whereas these ones, they even have a different size of shoe, which is pretty interesting in and of itself. So yeah, very interesting that they decided to make that move for this particular figure on the Horde, on the Snake Troopers. Crazy. Moving on to the next figure in the line, we are going to be looking at Slamurai, which I was not expecting to like, but honestly, he looks pretty damn cool, I've got to say. He's got these crazy white, it's not even a deco, he's just basically cast in white plastic, and he looks freaking amazing. He really is the yin and yang of the two ninja warriors that are in, of course, the Master Universe, Ninjor and Slamurai. It's interesting looking closer at his face, because originally when I took a look at this guy in the packaging, I thought it was just blacked out eyes, but no, it's actually blue eyes. He's actually got these blued out eyes. There's no iris whatsoever, so it's interesting to see that. Obviously his sculpt is exactly the same as Ninjor, so he's still got, you know, the furrowed brow and everything like that, but I do love the way the deco is here. Obviously flesh colored paint as well as the black pinstriping on the eyebrows and the eyes are the only things painted on the top of his head. The tunic is still sculpted plastic. I really do love that, and I really have to figure out what it says here with the kanji characters on the front. A quick Google search really doesn't turn up much. I really don't know what these characters actually mean. If anybody knows that, please leave those comments in the comment section below. I really would be interested to find out what they say. He does actually have a whole host of accessories, which we can see here. He's holding his signature bow and arrow, which at first I thought was a kite, and he has his nunchaku, which he's holding in his other hand. Very well sculpted. Of course, they were included as well with Ninjor, but I love the fact that they're included with Slamurai here. It's absolutely great. He also has a katana, which is strapped to his back, and I love that. You know, really honing in on his overall samurai nature. Of course, he is the Slamurai. This is very, very cool. I love the highlights that he does have. The striking light blue wrist guards, signature belt, and furry loincloth, which is done in a type of silver, which also complements the silver trimmings on his nunchaku. Yeah, he just looks so well put together. I love it. Turning around to the back, we can see he does have pretty much the exact same sculpt as Ninjor, of course, and he does have that one small attachment to holster the samurai sword on his back. Wonderful stuff. And of course, the final figure in the wave is, yes indeed, King freaking Randor from the 2000X series. This has been my most anticipated figure of this wave, mainly because he is the one figure which has been retooled from the ground up, and he looks absolutely amazing. Let's take a closer look at this guy. Holy crap. Zooming in here, we can see that King Randor has a brand new head sculpt. I mean, everything about this guy is brand new. He probably shares the arms of certain characters. I really do like his facial sculpt. It has this youthful appearance because he is the king of Eternos, so it's interesting to see the way he looks in this particular sculpt. He has a signature crown, which he's wearing here, and it really is covered by most of his bangs and the top of his hair. I love the way they've decided to sculpt this character, and it really does look in line with the way he looked in the 2000X series. He's got a bit of almost a slightly chubbier face, which again goes back to the idea that he's actually a very youthful king, maybe even a prince at this stage. I'm not really 100% sure, but he is called King Randor, so we're going to go with that. We can see that his cape actually has some additional deco here. It's actually got a golden rope. That's a wonderful attention to detail. I really enjoy that. Of course, I've talked so much about his tunic. I really like the way it's put together. I believe that what they're trying to say here is it's more or less a felt tunic, but he's got armor in the front to protect his chest. Very, very cool the way they designed this. He also has a kilt of sorts, and it's adorned with a lot of heraldry. A tip of the hat to the 2000X series. So cool. Again, his arms are pretty much reused from multiple figures in the Master of the Universe Origins. However, on his left hand, we can see that he has a different style gauntlet. I don't think this is shared by any other figures in the line. I could be wrong though. If anybody knows, please let us know, because this looks like pretty much exactly the way it did in the series for 2000X, and I do appreciate that they really did leave that intact, adding to the fact that he is really a unique sculpt all in his own. This is really great. If we take a look at his scepter, this scepter is unique, as I don't actually remember him using the scepter in the 2000X series. I believe this is actually something which was designed but never actually utilized in the show. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'm pretty sure I probably am. I haven't watched the entire series proper, but he is seen here with a unique design, holding the scepter. However, in the series, mostly we saw him with a sword battling the forces of Keldor, and that's actually how I remember Randor throughout the series. So it's interesting that they decided to give him the staff in this incarnation of King Randor. Now, one of the most unique features about King Randor is, of course, his prosthetic knee. His leg seems to be intact for the most part, but his knee seems to be utilizing a special brace of some sort. And it's pretty much indicative of the way he looked in the series with this red crystal here on the front. But again, it really does bring into question what did happen to King Randor's knee. Very, very interesting idea. And it comes all the way down to the top part of his boot. You can see here, the top part of the boot on the left leg actually has the traditional furry adornment at the top, whereas the right leg has this new cover, which is more like in line with what he's actually wearing on his knee. Very cool to see that detail there. He also sporting this crazy looking cape, which I love. Now, I was expecting this to be soft goods, but apparently it's a fully sculpted plastic cape, very much in line with what we received with Scareglow. So a little bit of reuse there, no doubt, but seriously, he looks absolutely incredible, and I'm so glad that he's in the line right now. If we take a quick look at his face a little bit closer, we can see that his eyes actually do have some white in them. That's really interesting. I thought from first glance here, I actually thought that they were just reflections, but if we zoom in closer, we can actually see that there is a tiny bit of white in his eyes, and mostly black for the irises and the top of the eyelid, which is really interesting. And I do again look at this and see pretty much a very youthful version of Randor. But I have to be perfectly honest with you guys, I still see a little bit of Burger King in there. Just saying. If we turn him around, we can see that his cape is once again sculpted very nicely. Again, very reminiscent of Scareglow. However, I have to say that because of the shoulder pauldrons, it doesn't actually wrap around him like Scareglow's cape does, which is an interesting detail to notice. Now, if we happen to take off his cape, let's just say that Randor has been working out. He's got quite the back. This is one jacked version of King Randor. He's looking pretty beefy, pretty well defined. And I love the details that we can see here at the back. Again, we can really see the differences between his left boot and his right boot, and I think that that's amazing. I really am appreciating this particular version of Randor. He really is the standout character in this line. Pretty much the character to really go after in Wave 13. And if the first version of King Randor is any indication how popular he is, I think this version of Randor is going to be even more popular, and I can't wait to get him into our collection. This is absolutely amazing, guys. Holy crap. Guys, this has been a look at Wave 13. It does have to be recognized that this is mostly reused for the most part. I mean, the only real new character in this line is, of course, King Randor. But I think what they've actually done with these particular figures as a repaint has been pretty good. Slamurai looks absolutely stunning. I mean, seriously, he stands out so much. It's crazy. I don't know how a ninja like that can actually hide from anybody. The Snake Trooper looks really cool. I do like the idea that he's a Midnight Trooper with a snake's head. And of course, those new accessories really pop. I love it. Snake Teela, probably the weakest in the line for me. I mean, she just has all this paint deco all over the place. There's no real sculpting involved on that. You know, no etching in there. But I still like the way she looks. Seriously, I'm very excited to be able to get her, and it's just an indication that we will be getting a 2000X Teela proper, and I'm really excited about that. And eagle-eyed viewers will also notice that the mini-comic, which features Snake Teela as the main character, or at least the main villain, is prominent in the background there, and we're going to take a look at that in another episode. But the standout character of the line, of course, is King Randor. He is a brand new character from the ground up. A very little reuse here. I think maybe one arm and one leg, and I think that's about it. Everything else is brand new from the ground up. Possibly underneath the tunic is a standard buck for He-Man, but everything outside of that is pretty much brand new. It's really, really great to see this particular character come to life. Holy crap, everybody. Let me know what your thoughts are. Are you interested in picking up any of these characters from this particular wave? I mean, seriously, you look at these guys, Randor standing here with his Eternian Guard. It really is quite imposing. And all the other characters in the background, this is just a great collection to have. Holy crap, I can't wait to pick up Randor and the rest of this wave. And then, of course, there is Snake Teela and the rest of the Snake Men wave. This truly is the year of the Snake Man, and if there's any other indication that we're getting more Master Universe in 2023, I don't think we have to look that much further than what we have here. Holy crap, everybody. I can't believe this. Once again, huge thanks to Phil Corbally for letting us take a look at his action figures. Phil, thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate it. Guys, this was an absolute treat. Holy crap. More Master Universe keeps coming faster and sooner than we expected, and I gotta tell you, I cannot see how this line is going to end in 2023 April. That just doesn't seem like enough time to release all these figures at once. Now, I do have to remind everybody, it is possible that they might end in big box retail, like Target and Walmart. They might not be interested in holding on to this on the shelves, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to be switching that model over to online sales, which for some people is a bit daunting. I mean, we've heard all the horror stories of people getting bent cards and, you know, that they just don't handle them the way they should as collectors would like. But this is something we do have to deal with, and if they are sort of moving on to the online model, hopefully other retailers like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, Amazon, other retailers who have a lot more experience with the online segment of sales will probably be able to get them, and we might be able to see better packaging and delivery on those options. Guys, what were your thoughts about this brand new look at these hugely detailed figures? Guys, let me know in the comment section below. What are your thoughts about the detailed look that we just had thanks to Phil? Honestly, they look amazing in my eyes, and I know that there's a lot of repainting there, and some people are just not into that. But you have to admit, Randor looks pretty damn cool, even though he still sort of looks like Burger King. Guys, let me know if you're interested in picking up these characters at all, and if you're amazed that all these figures are being brought out fast and furious, that we just can't keep up in many cases. Or are you guys still worried that this might be an indication that the line is coming to an end and that Mattel might just be pushing out as much product before the end of the line actually hits? That is unfortunate, but I seriously think that there's more life in MOTU in 2023. Guys, if you enjoyed this episode, please do leave me a like. It really does help me out. If you're interested in supporting the channel, guys, please consider checking out my Patreon page. It's MegaJRetro on Patreon. Guys, the patrons of this channel really help me make wonderful episodes every single week, and I can't do it without them. I really do appreciate their help. Guys, you are the best. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please do leave me a like. It really does help me out. I hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. We have the power, everybody. We have the power. And this time, Australia got it first. Good on you, mate. Guys, good journey. Keep proud. I want to give a huge shout out to all my Patreon and channel member supporters. Thank you so much, everybody. It's thanks to your support that this channel continues to grow, and I really could not have done this without you. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for your support, guys. It really means a lot and really helps the channel to keep growing.